on his 42nd of the year. A great pitching matchup for Game 2. Max Scherzer and Matt Harvey in the nightcap. Exciting afternoon win for the Nats here at Citi Field. And now after about a 3-hour layoff, we're going to try this thing again. Matt Harvey tonight goes against Max Scherzer. Great pitching matchup. And you're going to see a whole bunch of kind of backup guys in the lineups tonight in the second game of this Saturday. Bob and FP, you know, the conditions were tough here today. Windy, cold. It did stay dry for the most part. That was a really well-played Game 1.
It was, and Bryce Harper stepped up big. That's what MVPs do. You're talking about tough conditions to hit. Noah Syndergaard kind of had his number. He was glad to face anybody but Noah Syndergaard. It was Addison Reed, and we're going to show you the pitch sequence. Don't throw him the slider. Whatever you do, don't throw him the slider. Home run number 42 for Bryce Harper. Put his ball club up 3-1. He squared it up, and there's a story behind the story. Bryce Harper used Clint Robinson's bat that he homered with earlier in the game.
That is fantastic. So back on top in the batting race, he ties Nolan Arenado with his 42nd home run. We'll see if he makes it to 100 RBIs maybe tomorrow. Bryce is not in the lineup tonight. He really got hit hard by a pitch, by the way, the at-bat before that home run, so he may need a couple of hours of recuperation time tonight.
Yeah, you don't think that was on purpose, but he did get hit by a pitch, and there's nothing sweeter as a hitter than when you get drilled and then hit a game-winning home run.
All right, pitching may be the name of the game again in the nightcap. Max Scherzer looking for his 14th win of the year. Matt Harvey, he is looking for his 14th win of the year. Both have great ERAs, low opponents' batting averages, and all the heat you could want on a cold night in New York City. Matt Harvey and Max Scherzer. Now, over the last 7 ball games, let's look at what the Nats starters have done. The ERA is incredible. The opponent's batting average in the middle is very stingy. The Nats have gone 4-3 over that time, but guys showing a lot of great form here, FP, late in the season, and Scherzer's been in the middle of that all year long.
He had a no-hitter through 7 1/3 last start against the Reds. You see the numbers right in front of you. 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. Matt Harvey's last start, however, was against the Reds too. He only struck out 6, so we'll see what happens here tonight between the two flamethrowers. Matt Harvey probably just going to go 5 innings in a tune-up for Game 3 of the NLDS.
So they're both looking for number 14. Then there's another number for you. It's 24. That's how old Felipe Rivero is, and he's looking like a closer. Got his first in Atlanta, got his second this afternoon, dominating the Mets with Jose Lobato. Made it look kind of small with a couple of different hitters, but evidently only one at bat, or bat I should say, that they took to the batter's box today. So how about this with Robinson and then Harper?
Well, you remember Bryce Harper switching bats with Yunel Escobar in the middle at bat during the homestand? It happened today, not in the middle of an at bat, but Bryce Harper on his 3rd bat of the game. Remember, he broke a bat first time up, used a different bat second time up, so 3rd time up, Clint Robinson, who homered earlier, his 10th of the year with that bat. And Bryce Harper is one of the most superstitious ball players I've ever been around. He asked Robinson, "Can I use your bat?" "Sure." And he goes up there and hits number 42 with the same bat. So Clint Robinson, your bat works. I love you, bro. Thanks a lot for home run number 42 and RBIs number 98 and 99. How about that? And we thought there was something, a story behind the story, and there actually was.
Well, maybe a nice steak dinner or something in the immediate future of Clint Robinson. Yeah, that guy might be the only one really warm in the ballpark tonight. It is 53 degrees, cloudy, but after what we've seen up here for a day and a half, it is at least dry, and that's all you really want. So Harvey leads the Mets onto the field. They have 89 wins, but they've lost 4 in a row, and now thanks to the Nats this afternoon, the Mets are 1 win behind the Dodgers for home field advantage in that playoff series. Matt Dendecker, he had a big role today, had a double, was on base a couple of times. Last 11 ball games, 4-17 on 10 hits and 24 at bats. And on the more immediate front, he's 8 for his last 15. So he's in that number 6 hole tonight. A lot of the Nats youngsters will get a chance to show what they can do here at Citi Field on a wind-whipped cold Saturday night in October.
See the arsenal for Matt Harvey as I regroup for a second. Fastball 96, slider 89, curveball 84, changeup 28% of the time. And you see the starts 29, and if I seem a little bit rattled, the Victoria's Secrets model just threw out the first pitch.
Harvey against the Nats, 3-2 with a 1.95 ERA in 9 career starts.
It's at the defense for the Mets behind Matt Harvey. Conforto, Neuenhuis, Granderson, the outfield. Tejada, Johnson, left side. Herrera, Kadire, right side. And Kevin Plawecki behind the plate. Some kind of pitching matchup here in Game 2. Excited to watch Matt Harvey lock horns with Max Scherzer. Hits were tough to come by in Game 1. That might be tougher in Game 2.
Yeah, first game totals 3-4-1 Nats, 1-5-0 Mets. And it was a cleanly played game. The only Nats error was Jose Lobaton over by the Mets on deck circle chasing a windblown pop-up, and they gave him an error. So Trey Turner is going to be the leadoff man for the Nationals here. So against Matt Harvey.
Excuse me, Carp. 183 in the third for Matt Harvey. Remember all the talk about the shutdown after 180 innings? Well, he's still going. Little tune-up tonight. 5 more innings is what we're told for Matt Harvey. And then he will start Game 3 of the NLDS. Usually a very pivotal and important game in those 5-game sets.
Yeah, well, where will the first 2 games of that series be? That's of utmost importance to Terry Collins and his ball club right now. So the Nats against the Mets. Tony Randazzo is a 17-year veteran. He has the plate. Jim Wolf at first. The crew chief, Jerry Davis. He's bundled up at second base, and Sean Barber at third.
He almost looks like that Mets fan.
First pitch in there from Harvey. Underway at 7-11. Trey Turner sees this fireballer for the first time. There goes the bat. Hits the track and then bounces, and that's Trey's second bat toss in the last couple of games.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times. I'll wake everybody up down the dugout. Bryce Harper thought he had the night off. Just about got drilled with Trey Turner's bat.
Turner, first 32 big league at bats in 25 games, 8 hits, including a home run in Atlanta. 0-2 from Harvey. Big breaking ball for the strikeout.
So Matt Harvey 1-0 with a 1.54 ERA in 2 starts since he was given 11 days of rest. He was struggling, getting hit around a little bit. His command was off. The Mets shut him down for 11 days, and he has been locked in nails in the 2 starts since.
Michael A. Taylor, 15 career at bats against Harvey with 4 hits and RBI. Took a little bit off. That was the changeup, 88 away. From the first base edge of the pitching rubber. Pretty good hack by Michael A.
Hey, you're facing Matt Harvey with 177 strikeouts, just 37 walks. Nothing really to wait around for. First hittable fastball. Let's see what you got. Let's do this. You don't want to get to the slider curveball. It's 2-strike stuff.
That's a slider outside. Straight up in the air, right side. Plawecki and Kadire over there, and Kevin Plawecki had to make a quick final move to get to that ball. The wind's been moving fly balls around here like crazy today.
Yeah, it hasn't died down for game 2. The flag's still blowing real hard out in left field. There you go. And a nice play by the Mets catcher.
Wow. Yunel Escobar started the day, 3rd leading hitter in the National League. He went 0 for 3 with a walk in game 1. He's now 6th in the batting race at .316. And against Harvey, pretty good success, 5 for 15. Pair of RBIs. Base on balls with those 5 hits and the 2 driven in. A 1-1. And Escobar hits it hard the other way, out of play. Jason Worth getting an evening off.
Or Garden Gnome, not sure.
Ian Desmond not in the lineup tonight. Anthony Rendon sitting out.
I mean,
Three and 2. And Escobar swinging at a pitch that would have been ball 4. The Nats go 1-2-3. This should be some night. Now it's Max Scherzer's turn. By PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. Mass and Chopper flying over Times Square tonight. All lit up over there in Manhattan. Here we are in Queens, Flushing. And it's the Mets starting lineup featuring Curtis Granderson, who has 7 career hits against Max Scherzer with a home run and 3 RBIs. Always a dangerous guy at the top of that lineup because he has speed and power. And here's Max, 2 for 2, 2-2 career against the Mets in 7 starts.
Yeah, coming off a start where he flirted with a no-hitter against the Reds in that makeup game on the 28th. 7 1/3, struck out 10 Reds, gave up 1 run in the Nats' 5-1 win. Threw 113 pitches, 78 of those for strikes.
Granderson at 257. 25 home runs. And Scherzer's breaking ball stays outside. 1-2. Well, that was a bolt to the inside half and a foul tip for the strikeout.
So the defense for the Nats behind Max Scherzer in game 2 of the doubleheader. Moore, Taylor, Dendecker the outfield. Turner, Escobar left side. Defoe, Robinson right side. Wilson, Ramos behind the plate. If Wilmer Flores started for the Mets in game 2, he has come down with some sort of illness. I think he has strep throat from what I read between games. It had been the first time in Major League history that 2 Wilmers were on the field together. And that's a fact.
Wow. Yeah, Wilmer Defoe gets his first career start. We've seen him off the bench a few times. Here's Ruben Tejada, the shortstop.
My random stat of the day for game 2.
Well, there was a very good pitcher back in the day. His name was Wilmer. They called him Vinegar Bend Mizell. First name was Wilmer. He was a preacher from the South and a pretty good major league pitcher.
That's just dropping some knowledge right there, is what that is.
1-1 to Tejada. Outside. Some kind of 87 right there. Tough to hit, dropping, moving away.
Well, that's the pitch that he was featuring so well last start against the Reds. Had a great feel for the slider. The fastball was coming out easy, 95 the whole game. But the slider was the pitch the Reds really had a tough time with.
And then Scherzer with another dominant fastball. He has struck out a lefty and a righty with that 94.
Well, you may not need your gloves if you're playing defense for the Nats tonight. Max Scherzer's got that kind of stuff going with the first 2 hitters. And you look at the emergency hack right there from Ruben Tejada. He was thinking about that slider again, and he got the fastball.
Michael Conforto hit a big home run against Max Scherzer in D.C. And that heater is moving all over the place right now. '22-year-old rookie hitter, low and inside. From Seattle, played at Oregon State.
Remember, I was talking about Ian Desmond and Andrelton Simmons kind of going head to head. Max Scherzer probably won't admit it, but with Matt Harvey, his opposite tonight, he's trying to match him pitch for pitch. The competition between 2 starters, the game within the game.
Hey, Max, final start. He can lay it all out there tonight here in New York.
Yeah.
He never holds back, but he can really let loose tonight. There's a fastball up. He'll get a ground ball to Defoe. And each pitcher with 2 strikeouts and dominant first innings tonight.
Game 2, Clint Robinson homered off a Noah Syndergaard in Game 1. It came off an off-speed pitch. But Clint has had good success this year against pitchers who bring the velocity in the mid to high 90s. 3 for 8 coming into this at-bat against Matt Harvey with a double and 3 RBI. And he said earlier today that he's gotten used to just letting pitchers that throw hard supply the power. He says, I just try and put the barrel on the ball, be a tough at bat, and take what they give me. Now that's taken some learning over the years from Clint. He says he hasn't always been able to have that approach, but he's done a good job of it this year, just kind of staying simple, letting the high velocity supply the power.
First inning, Harvey, 16 pitches, 9 strikes. That's Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. When you're talking Cards, you're talking Coons. I find that a very refreshing approach by Clint Robinson, as opposed to some hitters who are up there flailing away all the time at guys like this. Just trying to put the bat on the ball. Doesn't mean you're going to go 3 for 4, but you've given yourself a chance. 93 upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got the magic bat in his hand. I always say bat died a hero. That bat was the game 1 hero.
Dan should have interviewed the bat, huh?
2 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs.
He was in the box when that came back up and hit him.
Bat cannot break. And it looks like it's been through a few battles. It's got some cleat marks in it.
One-two pitch. Robinson can't get it. 3 strikeouts to 4 batters. Mercedes-Benz will track it upstairs.
Yeah, extra fastball right here. A little run back to it for Matt Harvey. Started it off the plate in, ran it back to a corner. Pretty good pitch.
Next up, Wilson Ramos. Done okay against Harvey, 3 hits.
Yeah, everybody talking about home field advantage in the NLDS between the Mets and the Dodgers. What you don't hear a lot of people talking about is the travel, going coast to coast, and the time change and the time difference in that series. Haven't done it when I was in Oakland playing the Yankees. It really takes it out of you going back and forth so quickly. You'd say, yeah, well, it's the playoffs, there's adrenaline involved, but the jet lag going back and forth, flying across the country in the playoffs, could be a factor in the series.
Yeah, the Nats never got to bring that series back from San Francisco last year, but that wasn't the easiest thing in the world, playing that marathon game too and then having to go out to San Fran.
Where the Nats get into San Francisco about 6, 7 in the morning after that 18-inning game.
Yeah.
With a day off the next day, but still.
2-2. Another strikeout. Inside the numbers with STG. At Citi Field, what Harvey has done against the Nats here. 3 decisions in 5 games. ERA lower than the opponent's batting average. And then nearly a 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Matt Dendecker, former Met. Quite a ball game today. Double, walk, and a possible game-saving play in right center field.
No, it was a game-saving play. There was runners on first and second. That ball was hit so deep it wasn't bouncing over the fence. It was 2 runs. And by the way, I did a little research during the break. Vinegar Bend is a city in Alabama in Washington County. And that might be one of the better nicknames I've ever heard for a player.
Wilmer Vinegar Bend Mizell.
Yes.
Who would later, after his baseball career, be a couple of terms congressman from North Carolina.
So he must have moved.
Well, Abe Lincoln moved around a little bit. He did all right. Illinois, Kentucky.
That's unhittable, folks. Wow. 94 right at you, coming back for the front, for the inside corner. Good luck hitting this, any lefty. Watch where this starts and watch where it ends up.
Crowd picking up on everything here with 2 outs. And Dendecker lays off the breaking ball. Great take to get the count full. Strikes out on a similar pitch. Harvey strikes out the side. If he's going just 5 tonight, it'll be interesting to see how many whiffs.
Seven strikeouts in the game so far. No segue for this. Nats fans, be sure to get your tickets today at the Nationals Winterfest. It's coming up December 12th and 13th, Walter E. Washington Convention Center. Meet and take photos with your favorite Nationals player, test your skills in simulated baseball experiences, and take a picture with Santa. Visit nationals.com/Nats Winterfest. A 2-day affair this year, folks. Going to be fun. Be there.
Michael Kadire against Max Scherzer. And Michael's had some success against Max. They've met in the American League. 6 for 24, 2 home runs. Hits one to left, but it was off the end of the bat, and Tyler Moore has it.
Tell you what, not an easy evening for the most experienced of outfielders with the way the wind is blowing here. Every fly ball tonight has potential to be an adventure.
I mean, those flags are just about being ripped off those wires and those poles out there. Saw a forecast for tomorrow that says 60 degrees. That sounds tropical right now.
It does.
Here's Kelly Johnson, who's at 256 for the Mets in 48 games since coming over. Got a breaking ball, fair ball. Clint Robinson right to the bag, and a couple of quick outs for Max. Kirk Neuenhuis will be next. By the way, I knew there had to be some symmetry to our discussion about the Wilmers.
Yeah.
Vinegar Ben Mizell played his last year in the big leagues for the expansion 1962 Mets. So there you have it.
I see you bringing it full circle. Vinegar Ben Carpenter.
Up and away with a fastball to Kirk Neuenhuis.
There's the other Wilmer.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when the Nats came here last time, this team was in disarray. They had just gotten walked off by the Padres in an extra inning affair, rain delays everywhere. A game where they were leading. They traded Wilmer Flores the next day and then didn't trade him. You remember him crying at shortstop.
Yeah. Got Carlos Gomez, then didn't get him.
Right. And then you're thinking the Nats are catching the Mets at the right time. This team's a mess. And that's when they turn their whole season around. And that part is extremely impressive, especially in New York with the media and the fan pressure the way it is. The team was disintegrating, basically. They turned around in one series against the Nats. They were 3 games back. They swept them, and the rest is history.
Remember the headline, worst loss ever?
Yeah. Well, that was
Scherzer blows away Neuenhuis.
That was a series before when the Mets were in Washington.
Yep. My, how things have changed. Each pitcher flawless so far. Out that year, costing them the 500 record, and then nothing but winning ever since. Not always winning as big as it took to make the playoffs, like two years ago and this year. But the fortunes of this franchise have been turned around dramatically over the last 5 seasons.
Still counting 2011 as a 500 season. We play 161. I feel like you should have the option to make up whether you won or lost the game that was never played. Should have that. So 81 and 81 in my books.
Okay. And just for those who might have forgotten, the previous year's total wins: 81, 71, 73, 59 twice, and 69 before that 2011 season. Tyler Moore, look at the dip on that pitch. Straight down it went. Tyler facing Harvey for the first time.
And that was the changeup right there, 86.
Breaking ball unreachable. 7 batters, 6 strikeouts. The only contact, Michael A. Taylor, who fouled out to the catcher.
I mean, he has the potential to throw a no-hitter here tonight. He has potential to strike out a lot of people tonight, and he's only going 5 innings. So is Terry Collins going to? Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge if we all come to it. But he is on point here early.
This is the kind of guy that might get that first base hit. Defoe dragging one with him, and if he keeps it fair, might have been.
Hey guys, you're getting to start the second game. Trey Turner, Wilmer Defoe. But you're facing Matt Harvey. Go get him.
320 at Potomac this year. 308 at Harrisburg. Called up May 19th when Jason Worth got hurt. And then back to Syracuse June 4th. That ball rocked down the line. Kadire, good play. And out at first on a close call by Jim Wolf. Matt Williams coming a couple of steps up in the Nats dugout.
I'm not marking my scorecard yet because the replay may show that he was safe, and Matt Williams going to check it. They're going headphones here, so the umpire's ears will be warm for a second while they check the review. But watch the hustle, and this is when I think diving into first is okay because you're avoiding collision, and he's safe. And there goes the no-hitter. We'll wait till it's official, but he beats this. You see the hesitation right there by Harvey. That's the difference. You see him chop his steps to slow down to make the catch. And Wilmer Defoe was still accelerating right there. Dove hit the base with his hand. They're going to call him safe. That one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and it's a local call, so it shouldn't take that long.
It is.
Boy, they're going to have some kind of reaction here if the safe sign comes out.
Well, they'd seen it on the board. It's obvious. Right here will show you. You hear the fans right now. Listen.
Yeah, they know.
Oh.
Harvey closer to the bag initially, but look at Defoe come screaming down that line.
But, I mean, for all you younger players, though, accelerate through the bag if you're covering. You could see Harvey trying to find the baseball and slowing down. If he ran full speed through the base, he would have beat Wilmer. But the fact that he slowed down a little bit in the hustle from the Nats second baseman was the difference right there.
Runner safe, first base hit for the Nats.
There goes a no-hitter. And that's a box you had to check tonight for sure.
Well, now Terry Collins won't have to worry about a fifth inning decision. What do you do if a guy's throwing a perfect game or a no-hitter when you're giving him 5 innings before the playoffs? You got to take him out. We'll never know. And here's Scherzer. Don't forget about Wilmer Defoe on base as well. Right around 130 minor league stolen bases. Scherzer looking to move him to second. He's going to bunt it to Harvey, who will go to second. Could be a double play, but Tejada unable to handle the relay. Just didn't throw it over to first. Might have had a shot. Defoe boring down on him.
Well, I'll show you Wilmer Defoe's hit and what Matt Harvey should do. As a pitcher, you come to the line and then you come up parallel to the line so you don't have to worry about the runner. And watch the steep angle Matt Harvey takes, so he has to chop his steps and slow down. He's just beelining straight to the bag. He created no angle, so he was thinking about a collision. He slowed down his steps, and that allowed Wilmer Defoe to get there and to beat the throw. So for all you younger pitchers, you get to the line first, hang a left so you're running parallel to the runner. That way you don't have to worry about any collision at first base ever. You just touch the base and keep running right next to the batter runner.
Trey Turner struck out first time. Scherzer aboard now. Cuddyer plays behind him with 2 outs and into right field. 9th big league hit for Trey Turner. Beautiful job of going the other way against a power pitcher.
That's a big missed bunt right there and a chance for Max Scherzer. Never know. That could be 1-0.
Michael has 4 career hits and an RBI against Harvey. And this one to short for Tejada. Top of the 3rd over. Things are happening quickly with 2 great pitchers around the plate. untouched through 4 now. And Max Scherzer striking out everybody in sight. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Strikeout number 10.
Swing and a fly ball left field. Taylor started in, going back, still back on the warning track. Makes the catch. It's a no-hitter. It's a no-hitter for Max Scherzer.
Sunday in Milwaukee, he was amazing. And today in D.C., he was almost perfect. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Plawecki, Herrera, and Harvey against Max Scherzer. 6 up, 6 down, 3 on strikeouts. 22 pitches, 14 strikes. Right-handed hitting catcher at 222 on the year. Ball riding up and in on him. 2-1. Well, I'm not sure if Wilmer Defoe got hurt on that trip into second base, but Dan Uggla's taken over for him here in the 3rd.
Could have been his hand sliding into first.
Yeah, that's true too. He hit that bag hard with the lead hand.
Nice catch. Bring your glove to the ballpark. Let's see on the slide to first. Look at the hustle. And let's check out the digits. Yeah, he did hit that hard, didn't he? Yeah, and he just makes a fist immediately. You see that? With his left hand.
Yeah, I cringed a bit when I saw that first replay. How about that? Scherzer stomping around like he struck him out. The batter was going to the dugout. Ramos was about to throw it around, and it's ball 3.
Well, the only one that didn't think it was a strike was Tony Randazzo. Everybody else walking away. Look at it. He got me. I got him.
Oops.
Okay, let's do this again.
Can 3 guys get hollered at for showing up and umpire at the same time? That's a strike call. 7 batters, 4 strikeouts.
He's telling them the pitch before was better. I guarantee you that's what Kevin Plawecki's saying. Ring me up on the one before, but that one wasn't a strike. Maybe a makeup call right there by Tony Randazzo.
Got to bring in Dilson Herrera, the second baseman. Unusual 2-pitch sequence right there. A 21-year-old infielder from Cartagena, Colombia. Came over from the Pirates with Vic Black in the John Buck Marlin Bird deal a couple of years ago. And the 0-2. Scherzer disposes of the number 8 hitter in a hurry, and now it's Scherzer and Harvey.
All right, swing for the seats, everybody. You hit a tater, you get season tickets. You have to purchase or renew your 2016 Nats membership by Monday for your chance to do it. So you get a couple of pitches off a pitching machine. You stand at home plate at Nats Park. You hit a tater, you get free tickets. Some restrictions apply. The machine will be set at 110.
Take karate, get your hands going. Get those hands quick. Couple of bolts right in there. Oh, 2 pitch with 2 outs. Kind of a backup breaking ball that stayed up and in. Harvey gets a piece of that slider. Each pitcher dominating.
Here we go again. Save seats, everybody.
Mets going to the top of the fourth. Escobar, Robinson, Ramos. Our Masson word of the day: progress. Text it to 29292. You might win an autographed Nats prize pack. Brought to you by Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Live fearless, and whatever you're doing, make some progress.
It's a good tip, Carp.
Thank you. We feel like we're doing that here because about 24 hours ago, we weren't sure if any of these games would be played in New York this weekend. Got one in this afternoon, and we've got a dandy tonight. First pitch, fourth inning, Escobar to Tejada.
Yeah, first team that scores wins this one, you're thinking.
Robinson and Ramos the next two. Both pitchers not only great command, but they're both working fast. Their defenders are not standing around at all here. Harvey had to go off the stretch for a couple of hitters last inning. Struck out Clint on a fastball up in the zone first time, so he gives him a first pitch changeup this time.
I always equated a pitcher working fast with confidence.
Yeah.
If you're confident in your stuff, there's no need to wait around and think about what am I throwing, you know, how are my mechanics, where's my release point. Just getting it going, you're confident. In playing behind guys like that, you make the good plays, but you're feeding off of their confidence, not just their tempo.
Breaking ball, kind of funny off the bat to the other side of the field, and Kelly Johnson throws out Clint.
If you're standing on the mound and you're taking your time and you're unsure of yourself, I'm the same on defense behind you.
Yeah.
If you're on the mound and you're getting it and going and you're confident, I'm the same behind you. And I think everybody says that guys make good plays because of the tempo. Guys make good plays because you're showing confidence. And now I want to help you. I want to play hard behind you because you have that air about you on the mound.
In a game like this, you can see it when the ball gets put in play. There's just a rhythm to the way guys pick up grounders, take a crow hop, fire it to first. And you know this, Pete, having played at this level, you know, ground balls, double plays, there's a rhythm to those plays where everything happens in sync, and it's so fantastic when you get to watch it. Harvey now turning away from the strikeouts, which is, I'm sure, is okay with Dan Warthen and Terry Collins. His last 4 outs have been on the ground. He's got Ramos 1 and 2. Terry Collins at the age of 66 going to the playoffs for the first time. He'd been close with Houston and with the Angels. Ramos can't catch up. Strikeout number 7, middle of the 4th inning. Top of the order ahead for the Mets.
As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Playing fantasy baseball? Not really. MLB.tv serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices. Get MLB.tv today.
Granderson, Tejada, Conforto. Bottom of the 4th. Breaking ball inside edge. Strike 1. Scherzer 12 pitches per inning. 8 strikes per inning. Up and away. Same spot. That ball rocked, and Uggla is right there. Easiest lead, the best hit ball of this game so far. 1 out, 4th inning.
Come into a big league game, ball's going to find you every time. Curtis Granderson with a bullet right at Dan Uggla, not a problem.
Ruben Tejada, strikeout victim, first time up. Up in the zone, low in the zone, left edge, right edge. Max all over the box so far. And Tony Randazzo's given the high strike on some heaters and some number twos.
Well, he's definitely a strike hunter back there, always has been.
Swing and a miss on 96. 13 strikeouts combined already for Harvey and Scherzer. Well, number 6 for Max.
The marquee pitching matchup of the night in all of baseball hasn't disappointed. If you like offense, turn the channel right now. If you like pitching, you tuned into the right game, because both of these guys are on top of their game here at Citi Field.
Michael Conforto, ground ball right side, first time up.
Starting to do that back pedal thing back up onto the mound after the pitches.
On a ball away, it's a fly ball to left, twisting back to Tyler Moore.
Same seats.
4 innings of Max Scherzer. The Mets, nothing to show.
Tastings from dozens of craft breweries. Must be 21 to get in. Some restrictions apply. Get your tickets now at nationals.com/beer. DC Beer Festival.
Top of the 5th inning, Matt Dendecker, Tyler Moore, and then Dan Uggla's first appearance at the plate.
Batman's here. He's the mini Dark Knight.
And the guy who thinks he is has 7 strikeouts so far. 49 pitches, 35 strikes through 4.
The Mets pitchers are all superheroes. Thor pitched the first game, now the Dark Knight in the second game. Superman tomorrow.
Jacob deGrom.
Spider-Man out of the bullpen.
There's that run back fastball he threw to Dendecker the first time, and then he struck him out on it later in the at bat when Matt just couldn't pull the trigger. kind of the same pattern. He got a breaking ball down and in to make it 3-2, and then back came the running fastball.
See if he goes there again. Gotta force yourself to swing if you're Dendecker on anything inside.
Well, he didn't throw it at the exact same spot, but we mentioned the high strike, and there it is, number 8. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Well, I mean, in Tony Randazzo's defense right now, he's in a rhythm for striking people out. With all the strikeouts in the games, he knows who's on the mound. Matt Harvey versus Max Scherzer. If you're an umpire, you're kind of anticipating strikeouts at this point. You're looking for strikes, both pitchers in the zone. So you have to know that as a hitter and try not to even get to 2 strikes.
Then he runs the changeup back to the edge against Tyler Moore.
Is Plawecki's nickname Robin?
Loyal sidekick tonight.
Putting down the right digits so far. Although it really doesn't matter. Matt Harvey's throwing all of them for strikes. Changeup's been deadly.
0-2. Strikeout number 9 with 2 outs in the 5th inning. 3 in a row. So Dan Uggla is next.
I mean, way easier said than done, especially up here in the booth with how he's throwing down there. But if you can right now, any hitter in this game on either team, don't get to 2 strikes. Try to put a ball in play early, almost like you're pinch hitting. Because both pitchers have put away stuff tonight, both dominant.
Dan Uggla against Matt Harvey, career 2 for 7 with 3 walks. 1-1.
Plus a big zone too. I mean, 91-mile-an-hour slider. Dan Uggla's 2-1. He's looking dead red. Here comes the fastball. Here comes the fastball. Watch the movement at the end. The subtle movement of the 91-mile-an-hour slider. Doesn't have to give in here with the base. You got pitcher on deck, a guy that's got pop at the plate. Don't have to throw a fastball here if you're Harvey. Going changeup.
And Dan Uggla hit by that changeup. Harvey went after the ball like he thought it might have hit the knob of the bat. And the Nationals have their 3rd base runner.
Yeah, the 8th spot on base twice tonight. Wilmer Defoe first, and now Dan Uggla gets hit on the backhand, it looks like, with a 3-2 changeup from Matt Harvey. And don't let the fact that this is a changeup make you believe it didn't hurt. That hurt.
Max Scherzer, 14 hits on the year. Max Scherzer, 15 hits on the year. That went into the gap, not deep enough to chase home Uggla, but it'll get him to 3rd with 2 outs, and the Nats have 3 hits. Max Scherzer, easily the batting champion of the pitching staff this year.
No, Max Scherzer, baseball player. I mean, just grinds on the mound, grinds at the plate. Doesn't matter what the score is. He's thinking, I'm going to win this game with the gapper, and helping himself out. So in a night when hits are hard to come by, Max Scherzer moves the line to Trey Turner.
Turner leveled off and singled to right field his last time. Harvey comes to the inside half of the plate for a strike.
Kelly Johnson way back. Trey Turner has that bunt if he wants it for a hit and a run. Look how far back Kelly Johnson is at third. Bunt it hard to third. It's 1-0 Nats.
Yeah, he pretty much have to do it now, as long as it's 1 strike and not 2. No score, top of the 5th inning. Ball game exactly 1 hour old. Turner had a big time rip at that. 1-2.
Put it in play and run like crazy.
Good takes by the rookie, and the count goes to 3-2. Scherzer will get a head start at first.
But it's a big miss by Matt Harvey. Now, as an infielder, you have to throw the ball across the infield. And having to throw the ball across the infield, you got speed at the plate.
Yeah. Turner strikes out. Not sure I've ever heard of a guy in a 5-inning tune-up with 10 strikeouts until tonight.
I mean, both pitchers missing a lot of bats here at Citi Field. Max Scherzer's fastball jumping out of his hand, just like it was last start against the Reds. The slider very subtle and benefiting from a pretty big strike zone. Both pitchers are. Tony Randazzo looking for strikes here as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Same seats, everybody.
Kadire, Johnson, Neuenhuis for the Mets. Kadire does not go up first pitch swinging this time. Hit one right off the bat, the end of the bat to Tyler Moore, leading off the second. Slider sounded like a broken bat that time. So Max has had him down on the end of the barrel twice. Next up, Kelly Johnson, who bounced out to Clint Robinson. Perfect breaking ball to get ahead.
Easy 95.
.95 again. Strikeout number 7.
We've seen it all year with the delivery. He's got the crossfire thing working, but the way his arm kind of drops down and he pushes the ball at you, hitters don't pick up the Scherzer fastball. The arm angle, the arm slot, how he kind of drops and drives, and watch the short arm delivery right there, how it snaps on top of you. See the finish. And it seems like his 95 plays way harder.
You know what 2 words you just said that we haven't talked about in about a month for Max? Arm angle.
Yeah.
That was the big thing when he was getting hit hard, dropping that arm, leveling things out. And lately we haven't had to talk about that at all. You were mentioning it in a positive light.
Hand, fingers on top of the baseball. Working hard with Steve McCatty. Said it would take a minute.
One-two pitch. Another strikeout. Number 8. 15 up, 15 down. No score after 5.
And for every home run a Nats player hits this season, Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Well, no sign of Matt Harvey out of this game after 5. So maybe it's more of a pitch thing than an inning thing tonight. That was his 72nd pitch of the night.
I was told by some Mets people 5 innings. That was bootleg information, apparently. No, he didn't tell me.
Good take by Michael A. Taylor, 2-1. He has fouled out to the catcher, hit a ground ball to short. 4 for 17 career against Harvey. And that turns a 3-1 count into 2-2, a breaking ball that ended up way off the plate. Hardly seems possible, does it? 44% fastballs? Wow. Three-two, two-hopper, right by Kelly Johnson. Taylor's going to round the bag big and then get back. That ball had a lot of overspin on it. Nats have their leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
And score that one E5. Kelly Johnson got caught in between. You see the moment of truth, as I used to call it, as a third baseman. And what I mean by that, you have a split second to decide, am I going to get this ball or am I going to back up on it? And Kelly Johnson just kind of froze and stayed in no man's land. He got the in-between hop, thus the error.
11th of the year, his 4th as a Met. Here's Escobar.
Michael Taylor likes to run early. Matt Harvey with a really good move to first base. Quick feet, strong arm.
Escobar having an 0 for 5 doubleheader so far. 1 walk this afternoon.
Big lead by Taylor.
Nats box. Infield hit. Wilmer Defoe back in the 3rd. Clean single later that inning by Trey Turner. And then Max Scherzer to right center. Last time up. Footnote on Scherzer, by the way, 2 for 6 career against Harvey. And a heater in there to Yunel Escobar. Good situation for him if he'd like to hit one through the right side. And a pop fly to center. Neuenhuis for the first out.
You know, Matt Harvey with a good move. He's pretty quick to the plate. But in these pitchers' duels, and the Mets are going to lock horns with one of the best staffs in baseball at the Dodgers, you have to find a way to create runs. The NLDS is going to be fascinating to me. You know, Kershaw, Greinke, DeGrom, Harvey. I mean, the names and the pitching in that series. How do you score runs against those guys? You look for balls in the dirt. Any way you could advance 90 feet. You try to steal a base. You bunt guys over. Small ball plays against A-plus pitchers like these two teams have.
Yeah.
And right now, if you're Michael Taylor, even though Harvey's quick, if you think off speed is coming, if you can peek and get a sign of a curveball or something slower, that would be the pitch you'd want to run on. But he shortened up his lead because of the Harvey move.
Another element to any series you play against a West Coast team. What time do the games start out there?
Oh, here too.
Yeah, 4 o'clock here, 4 o'clock there. It'll be really nasty. 2-0.
But every 90 feet so precious in the playoffs, especially when you have two staffs like you're going to see here in a week.
Well, Clint was on that off-speed pitch, 86. 2 balls, 1 strike. Harvey due to bat 3rd, bottom of the 6th inning. No score. Nats have the only 3 hits of the game. Taylor running. Robinson off to the left.
Don't think it was a hit and run. You usually don't do that with your cleanup hitter. More like a run and hit. You know, no way that Clint Robinson could take a 2-1 fastball off Matt Harvey right there. So.
It's like Michael laying his way back to the bag, was walking through the grass and trying to scrape some dirt out of his spikes there. He kind of took a little right turn and returned on the turf, not the dirt. 2-2 with one out. Holding. Robinson, another foul. He's running again. Robinson, base hit. Taylor spots the ball, heads for third. Bob Henley will hold him. And the Nats have a corner situation thanks to an error and a hit with one out.
I'll tell you what, Clint Robinson has impressed me in a million different ways this season. But the way he's handled aces of staffs, the way he's gone up against the best pitchers in baseball and not flinched and gotten his base hits has been maybe the most impressive part of his game this year. And we're just talking about manufacturing a run, finding a way to get an extra 90 feet. You send Michael Taylor, Clint Robinson puts a ball in play, first and third, one out. And now it's up to Wilson Ramos to keep the ball off the ground and put it in play in the air somewhere, because Michael Taylor's going to be tagging on anything.
Remember Dan's report earlier, what we just saw, Clint Robinson's plan against Harvey executed to a T. He told Dan that's what he wanted to do, level off, let him supply the power and hit the ball somewhere. He got a base hit. Wilson Ramos rocks one off the tarp, way foul. Nice effort by the ball boy. That would have been the play of the year.
I like the game plan by Ramos. Come up packing. Something you can drive.
Ramos against Harvey, 3 for 11, but tonight 2 swinging strikeouts. The Mets made a defensive miscue this afternoon when Daniel Murphy couldn't turn a double play ball. He was actually the first guy to touch it, bobbled it, and then later in the inning Bryce Harper hit a 2-run homer. An error by Kelly Johnson has given the Nats a 6th inning opportunity tonight. Ramos reaches out, hits one into the outfield. Here comes Neuenhuis. Taylor can fly, and he's going to score easily. The Nats will turn the error, a hit, and a fly ball into a 1-0 lead, and that's number 68 on the RBI side for Wilson Ramos.
Just such good baseball right there by the Nationals. It's so refreshing to see somebody running, somebody hitting, guys moving around a little bit. They've been so station to station this year because of injuries. You know, Denard Span not here, Anthony Rendon with lower half stuff going on. So a team that used to run a lot last year, very sedentary this year. And it's nice to see them run around a little bit and getting ahead here 1-0 with a manufactured run against Matt Harvey, who's locked in.
Here's Den Decker. Unearned run because of the error. That fly ball would have been the 3rd out. And now Eric Goodell is up. Got him on a breaking ball. Harvey, 11 strikeouts might be it for him, but he gives up an unearned run, and the Nats have a lead. And the Nats scratch out a run in the 6th. Plawecki, Herrera, then the pitcher spot for the Mets. Max Scherzer is averaging 11 pitches per inning. Shook to a fastball. Backhand Escobar. Bad throw. Error. First base runner for the Mets. Seventh error of the year on Escobar.
First base runner of the night for the Mets reaches on the Yunel Escobar error, and he threw a nasty sinker to Clint Robinson. And he had plenty of time to take one more shuffle and get that ball there on the air. And you can see Max Scherzer kind of telling Yunel Escobar to throw the ball if you can read lips. First time out of the stretch for Scherzer tonight.
Dilson Herrera up hacking with Escobar on the grass at third. Mets box. You just saw it. This one popped up to the right side. Dan Uggla out. And he has it for the first out. Daniel Murphy will be hitting for Matt Harvey. Murphy 3 for 17 career against Max.
Pitching for the double play right there. Strike at the bottom of the zone. Little sink to it. He's trying to get Murphy to hit a ground ball. Another low pitch, bottom of the zone. Changeup.
Hansel Robles for the Mets. Harvey, by the way, threw 91 pitches, 61 strikes. Struck out 11 batters in 6 innings. Pretty good rip. Inside the Numbers brought to you by STG. So innings pitched most in a single season since the birth of the Nats. He won't catch Lee Vaughn, who was a real workhorse back in that first season, as was Esteban Loaiza. But Max Scherzer, ton of innings this year. Came in third in the National League in innings and second in strikeouts. Bouncing ball, right side. Uggla stumbles, still gets the lead runner. 2 outs.
A pretty smart play by Dan Uggla. He knew that he had the catcher running at first base in Plawecki, so in a 1-0 game, normally a second baseman chokes this off and gets the out at first. But he knows that runs are a premium here tonight against the Mets, so he gets the lead runner. Would be the tying run. So good play by Uggla. Max Scherzer pointing at a second baseman. Nicely done.
Curtis Granderson hit the daylights out of the ball last time. A line drive right at Dan Uggla. The only well-hit ball against Scherzer so far. That's 94 inside. He's been able to drop that slider in just about any time he wants. Think about 8 strikeouts in 5 innings on 55 pitches. Remarkable efficiency by Max tonight. Error, pop-up, ground ball in this inning. And a 1-2 with 2 outs. Got him. Strikeout number 9. And through 6. Scherzer still untouchable. The Nats lead 1-0.
Same seats.
Membership by Monday for your chance to swing for your seats. Hit a home run, your seats next season free. Nationals.com/swing or call 202-675-NATS. Tyler Moore, Dan Uggla, Max Scherzer, top 7 here with Washington on top 1-0. Hansel Robles throws the fastball just about 3/4 of the time. And he takes over for Matt Harvey.
The slider to go with it. Nats hitters know all too well if you're facing Hansel Robles, you got to look up because he'll quick pitch you. I think he struck out Ryan Zimmerman and Michael Taylor that way the last time these two met. Especially with 2 strikes. Look at the wind whipping up.
Yeah, it's nasty out there tonight. Other tip of the cap I want to give tonight to our camera guys around the ballpark. We've got an overhang up here, so we're partially undercover. They are out in the elements. And hats off, gentlemen, for a fantastic job for 3 hours this afternoon and then again tonight.
All bundled up. Staying warm, staying dry.
Well done, guys. Some of the best pros in the business right here in New York.
Absolutely. Who else is going to give me shots of Mr. Met?
Johnny Moore facing Robles for the first time. He was strikeout victim number 6 and number 9 out of the Harvey 11. Slider, 84 for the strikeout.
There's Mr. Met, our old creepy scary friend. Same expression. Tons of Botox. No wrinkles in his forehead.
And those stitches are never going to heal, evidently, either.
He's had a few facelifts. You can see the stitch marks.
There's a number 8 man, Dan Uggla. Hit by a Harvey off-speed pitch back in the 5th. Launches one to left. Conforto is back and gone by Dan Uggla. 2-0 Nats on Dan Uggla's second homer of the year. You all remember the first one in Atlanta. And about 5 months later, there it went. Always happens, right? A guy gets hurt, somebody comes in, takes his place, and contributes to the ballgame.
Yeah, hit by pitch, made a good play at second base. Now a tater. And a hero's welcome in the Nats dugout. Put those big forearms to use we were talking about the other night. And I think that one was through the wind. It's hard to hit one out of this park tonight.
That's Dan Uggla's 235th career home run. So here's Max Scherzer with a 2-run lead now. 1 out, 7th inning. The Nats have hit 3 homers on this cold, windy day and evening in New York. Next, taking a good hack.
We'll check out the home run swing from Dan Uggla once again. Just a backup slider, a cement mixer from Robles. And there was a few Nats players that took exception to the quick pitching from Robles last time, so that home run had to feel extra good for that third base dugout.
1-2 and a Max Scherzer foul tip.
I think there's a school of thought that that's cheap. There's another school of thought that someone could get hurt when you're looking down, like a lot of hitters have been this year with Robles. You're looking down, you're getting in the box, and if he doesn't throw a strike right there and lets one go up and in, you could really hurt somebody with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It's not looking.
1-2 and Scherzer strikes out. 2 outs here in the 7th. But Dan Uggla has been a consummate pro here, right from spring training into the season. And when we go to Atlanta and go to Miami, places where he previously played, guys can't say enough good things about him as a teammate.
No, and here too, they love him.
Good for him. Trey Turner up hacking. 1 for 3 for the Achiever and you, PNC Bank, with our minor league, now major league player report. What he did at AAA. He had hit .359 at Harrisburg. Only he was in AA ball for 10 games. Called up August 20th, and he started the season with the Padres AA in San Antonio, where he hit .322 in 58 games. Holding his own as a big league hitter. 9 for 36. That's in there. Robles strikes out the side, but Dan Uggla goes big fly against him. And with these conditions here tonight, you've got to be strong to hit one out. The Nats by 2. Time to stretch in chilly New York.
Game summary brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Arlington, Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. I think you can see what's going on here.
2-3-4 for the Mets. Tejada, Conforto, and Kadire. Max Scherzer 68 pitches through 6, 50 strikes, 9 strikeouts.
Wind really picking up here at Citi Field.
First pitch changeup to start the 7th. He has struck out Tejada twice. Then he bolts a fastball that the hitter's very late for. The 0-2, a breaking ball in the dirt. Ramos will step into a throwing lane, and that's number 10 for Max Scherzer.
Scherzer stalking.
He has struck out double digits 3 games in a row now. 12 Orioles, 10 Reds, and now 10 Mets.
Yeah, you think he's going to go with a fastball here. Conforto's had trouble catching up to the Scherzer heater tonight. I still think Conforto's a dead ringer for Rico Brogna. Former Met.
Good call.
Stance and everything.
2-0. That's at the knees with 89. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
A little slider right there, cutter deal, bottom of the strike zone, good pitch. Tries to throw that fastball up right here.
He gave it where Ramos wanted it, outer edge, and the left-hander late. Then he throws a changeup for strikeout number 11. That's 3 in a row. 2 outs, 7th inning.
Might have been the best pitch of the night. Watch this changeup. Good fade to it, good dip at the end, good arm action. Looked just like the fastball. Conforto couldn't see it. And let the stalking begin.
Michael Kadire 0 for 2. Fly ball to left, ground ball to second. And 2. Strikes out the side, and that's a dozen. Max Scherzer to the dugout, still averaging right around 11 to 12 pitches per inning. The pitch count is great, and the stuff is dominant. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
And for those of you that might be wondering, Max Scherzer doesn't sit in the dugout between innings. You know, why aren't we showing him sitting by himself in the dugout, not talking to anybody? He sets his glove and his hat down, and he goes down below between innings. So Max Scherzer not on the bench, and I know it's college football Saturday, but you might want to text your friends that something's going on here at Citi Field.
Nats up top of the 8th, leading 2-0. Taylor Escobar Robinson and the new pitcher, right-hander Eric Goodell. His 35th appearance, 2.51 ERA. Strikeout guy, 31 in 32 innings. Michael A. Taylor with a strikeout, 0 for 1 against him. Fastball running off the plate at 92. Taylor's speed a factor in that Kelly Johnson uncertain play to start the top of the 6th inning. Top spin grounder got by him. 1 out later, Robinson a base hit, and then Wilson Ramos a sac fly that put the Nats on top before Uggla homered last inning. Strike 2.
I see the glove right there behind McCaddy.
Taylor can't get to the 84, diving on him. 1 out, 8th inning. It's the 15th Nat to strike out tonight. On the road, best records for the Nats brought to you by Jeep. Since the beginning of the 2010 season, it was total domination by the Nationals until the Mets swept them here at the end of July, beginning of August. But with today's win, the record this year at Citi Field, 4-4 between the ball clubs, with tonight and tomorrow to go. Escobar 1 for 1 against Eric Goodell. Career.
You're thinking, yeah, end the season with a nice series in New York against the Mets. They've already clinched. Just have some fun doing some broadcasts, and here I am nervous as heck. Never know what you're going to see, right?
What are you nervous about?
I'm just nervous. Drank a lot of coffee. It's been a doubleheader. On cup number 7.
2-1. Escobar getting out of Dodge. Fastball count, and that's not what he got.
A curveball 77. That's a split you're seeing in the mid 80s. Fastball 93 from Goodell.
Same pitch, and Escobar lays off to get the count full. Escobar looking for his first hit of this doubleheader. And the changeup gets him. Check out Nats Winterfest December 12 and 13 at the Convention Center. Your favorite Nats will all be there. Test your skills in a simulated baseball experience. Santa will start granting your wishes, we hope. Buy your ticket today. Special early bird prices. 202-675-NATS, nationals.com/Nats Winterfest. Clint Robinson. Fastball. Low and down around the knees on the inside edge. Turn around, buddy. There's a slugger in the box.
Good rip.
Into the 9 o'clock hour here, top of the 8th inning. Nats won the first game today, 3-1 behind homers by Robinson and Bryce Harper. A game-winning 2-run homer in the 8th, his 42nd. And tonight, a homer by Dan Uggla, sac fly Wilson Ramos the difference in a brilliant pitching performance by Max Scherzer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one curling foul over by the tarp and out of play. The last 7 Washington outs have been strikeouts. Great pitching on both sides tonight, and now Scherzer goes back to work. With you. Tanner Roark, career against the Mets, 5-0 with a 3.52 ERA. Jacob deGrom, an all-star, will be chunking for New York. He's 14-8, 2-2 career against the Nats. And a little bit of a later start tomorrow at 3 o'clock. All the big league ball games syncing up at the same time tomorrow. Now we're going to the bottom of the 8th inning as the Mets video board tries to get their fans to make some noise.
All right, same seats, don't move a muscle. Here we go.
Kelly Johnson, Kirk Neuenhuis, and Kevin Plawecki. That's only his 81st pitch of the night and his 61st strike. Scherzer has struck out 4 batters in a row, 12 on the night. And make it 13.
Total domination by Max Scherzer, and here he goes. Way back by second base, get the ball, walk up the mound, challenge him with the heater. It's been jumping out of his hand all night. Why change a thing? Experience going to be a big factor right here, right now.
Neuenhuis, strikeout victim number 3 in the 2nd, number 8 in the 5th.
Neuenhuis had trouble getting to the Scherzer fastball all night.
Pretty good take on the slider. In the air, out of play, left side.
How do your palms sweat when it's this cold?
Mine aren't. Tell you what, he's got some hitters that wish they had sweaty palms right now to get a better grip. Cold night, wind blowing, 53 at game time. Wind chills probably in the mid 40s or lower. And a 2-2 pitch with one out. Change up, he turned it over on Neuenhuis. Strikeout number 14, 6 in a row. Kevin Plawecki, the catcher, is next.
Not a whole lot to analyze at this point. I'm going to sit back and watch it with you.
Slider devastating to go with the heater tonight. 1-1. There's a slide piece again fouled. Couple of shakes. Time. It's 8 innings for Scherzer. 15 Ks. The Mets one base runner on a throwing error, and that is it for them so far. Kelly Johnson first. Fastball blows by him. Neuenhuis, changeup. Plawecki, slider.
Scherzer strikeouts. The last one, a slider down the way to Plawecki, and watch Scherzer with the react after the nasty slider. Here it comes right here. So 7 strikeouts in a row. You think he's locked in? You think he's fired up? You think he's into this? Well, duh. Now he gets to be his own closer. And what do they think? Absolutely. Everybody here locked in. Now sit down and stay in your same seat.
Top of the 9th inning, Wilson Ramos, Matt Dendecker, Tyler Moore against the right-hander Carlos Torres.
Lots of cut fastballs from Torres. 59th appearance. League hitting .280 against the Mets right-hander.
Wilson Ramos, 3 for 8 career against him with a homer. And to the right side, sliding, throwing. Nice play, Dilson Herrera.
Eight, 9-1 due up in the 9th for the Mets.
Matt Dendecker will face Torres for the first time. Busted bat, first base side, Kadire. Byron Kerr, Ray Knight in the studio tonight. And our Nets Extra Postgame Show is presented by who but W.B. Mason. Tyler Moore, 1 for 5 with a home run against Torres, career. Fastball perfect at the knees, outside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not sure how Tyler Moore reached that breaking ball, but he did to stay alive.
Terry Collins, are you concerned about your offense moving into the postseason right now, based on what's transpired in both games here today?
All right, we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning, as is our custom here on Masson with the Nationals. In a situation like this, we will keep it right here at the between half innings break. We will tell you that Max Scherzer, through 8 innings, has thrown 93 pitches, 69 strikes. So he has plenty of bullets remaining in this one. The Mets have 8, 9, and 1 due up. We'll see if they do anything in that situation. And of course, then there are the strikeouts. This is the 3rd time through the lineup for the Mets. It started with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and he has struck out all 7 guys 3rd time around.
That doesn't matter what pitch, but it's all off the fastball tonight. I mean, we'll show you some sliders and some changeups, but his heater's been jumping out of his hand. There's a slider right there. The slider's been subtle too, but when push comes to shove all night long, Max Scherzer is playing macho with the Mets. Here's my fastball. Can you hit it? My best bolt against your best bolt. And it's been some good old-fashioned country hardball from Scherzer most of the time here tonight. I showed you a changeup and a slider, but it's been all about number 1 on a cold night. Max Scherzer bringing the heat.
And you will hear some kind of reaction by the Mets fans when an announcement is made very shortly about who's batting in the 9th inning, because Yoenis Cespedes has come out, and we talked this afternoon about his reverse splits this year, FP, that he's been at times much better against right-handed pitching than lefties.
Well, he's a good low ball hitter. He's a good low ball hitter on the fastball down and in. That's his turbo zone. And I think I told you in the first game, in case you missed it, has 148 balls put into play this year, 100+ miles an hour. That's the most in Major League Baseball. So you'd think fastballs away, sliders away, and maybe some elevated fastballs here to Cespedes as the crowd goes crazy.
They have faced each other in the American League, and here they come in October in the National League. Cespedes' 3-for-8 career with a home run against Max Scherzer. And then, as expected, Lucas Duda, the only lefty on their bench, steps out on deck.
Listen to this place.
Wow. Fastball to the outer half.
Where'd he go? Fastball up and away.
And he had him reaching for the slider. And the 0-2. Right back off the screen. Just got a piece of it. As Scherzer did a good job of burying that 0-2 slider. Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts in a row. 16. And with Lucas Duda coming up next, I've never seen anything like this. We're late in the game. The third time around the batting order, nobody has put the ball in play. Lucas Duda against Max Scherzer career, 2 for 7. Target away, and that's where he puts it. Strike 2. Third time around the batting order, 9 for 9, striking out the Mets. And Curtis Granderson is their final hope. 17 strikeouts tonight. Curtis Granderson has the only hard hit ball tonight, a line drive to Dan Uggla back in the 4th inning.
Trey Turner enjoying the moment a little bit.
Yes! Up and in quadrant of the strike zone. Target away. Went with the changeup, and the count's even 2-2. Broken bat pop up on the infield. Max Scherzer has done it again. He has thrown 2 no-hitters against 2 playoff teams, the Pirates and now the Mets.
For the 2nd time this year, there is the no-hitter for Max Scherzer. Unbelievable here tonight at Citi Field. One of the most dominating performances you'll ever see in your life.
Twice in the no-hitters within 1 base runner of a perfect game.
Have you ever seen a better pitch game ever?
17 strikeouts, which has been done before. But FP, the 3rd time around the order, he struck out every hitter swinging, from Granderson down to Duda with Cespedes in front of him. This was something for the ages that we saw tonight.
Oh, and now we can all breathe easy again. What a ride, Max Scherzer. This is the 5th time he's flirted with it this season. He's thrown 2 no-hitters, but he's flirted with it 5 times, and with any luck, you're looking at a guy that could have 5 no-hitters in 1 season. 2 is amazing, but that's how dominant he's been at times. Congratulations, Max Scherzer. You've given us all thrills this year. Unbelievable.
How about that to take into the offseason? So, since the end of September last year, the Washington Nationals now have 3 no-hitters. Jordan Zimmermann last September, Max Scherzer in June, and now Max Scherzer on October 3rd, 2015. Well, you knew the Mets were in trouble when you started looking at that pitch count after 4, 5, then 6 innings.
But you knew they were in trouble when he just was striking out everybody, and the fastball was coming out easy. Maybe the best changeup he's had all year. But it was all about the fastball tonight for Max Scherzer, just challenging Mets hitter after Mets hitter. Unbelievable.
All right, Dan, you're with a guy who's thrown 2 unbelievable games this year.
Thank you very much, Bob. Max, congratulations. You were one of 6 pitchers ever in Major League Baseball history to throw 2 no-hitters in a season. What's your reaction to that?
You're speechless when you hear stuff like that. Just to be able to come out here and compete against the Mets. I mean, I know our season didn't go the way we wanted to, but, we finished strong. Willie tonight did a great job behind the plate. I trust them so much. We did a great job executing. Our defense played. We had great timely hitting when we needed it, and we just found a way to grind one out.
You struck out 9 batters in a row at one point there at the end. What does that feel like as it's happening?
You're in sync with your mechanics, and you're in sync with the catcher, and you're in sync with what you want to do. You just have a feeling what you know the out pitch is, and you're reading the swings, you're reading what they're doing, and you just try to execute pitches around that. And Willie did a great job of calling some pitches that I wasn't anticipating. I executed anyway, and it just worked.
You took a long walk around the infield there before the bottom of the 9th inning. You typically do that.
Yeah.
What are you telling yourself as you're getting ready to toe the rubber?
Here we go. Let's go. It's on. I'm pumping myself up. I know what's at stake, and I want it. And so it's just one of those things where that's where I get in my mode and come at you with all I got.
You did this a little more than 3 months ago. What was different about this one as compared to the one against Pittsburgh back in D.C.?
I don't know. It was a little bit colder tonight. I remember Pittsburgh being hot. This one was cold, so that's what I can remember about the both.
How were you able to keep your pitch count so low tonight despite the 17 strikeouts that you had?
I was able to get some early contact and just pound the zone and working ahead, just getting the 0-2 counts. And when I got those